Have you ever noticed that some people can sit inside a conversation for a long time without saying much and still walk away understanding more than almost everyone else there? They are rarely the loudest person in the room. They usually do not interrupt, compete for attention, or rush to prove they belong. And because of that, they are often misunderstood from the very beginning. People assume they are shy, detached, passive, socially uncertain. But that reading is often completely wrong. Because while everyone else is busy reacting, talking, performing, and trying to keep up with the rhythm of the moment, these people are doing something else entirely. They are watching the room. They are listening beneath the words. They are noticing the pause before someone answers, the tension hiding behind a smile, the tiny shift in someone's eyes when a subject changes, the emotional weight behind a joke that sounded harmless to everyone else. And that is exactly why their silence can be deceiving. It may look like absence on the outside, when in reality it is a form of intense psychological presence. Most social environments reward speed, quick replies, fast reactions, easy humor, surface confidence. In many groups, the person who speaks first looks more natural, more comfortable, more socially skilled. But that impression can be deeply misleading, because some minds are not built to enter a room and immediately express. Some minds enter a room and begin decoding. They notice the emotional temperature before they decide how to move inside it. They sense who is genuinely relaxed and who is only pretending to be. They pick up on who is trying to dominate, who is shrinking themselves, who is speaking to connect, and who is speaking because silence makes them uncomfortable. While others are simply participating in the conversation, these people are quietly mapping it. And once you start seeing social life this way, words stop feeling casual. They stop feeling light. Because you realize that people do not only hear what you say, they hear the intention under it, the insecurity inside it, the status behind it, the need hidden beneath it. That is when silence stops being emptiness and starts becoming caution. This is one of the main reasons people like this often speak less, not because they have nothing to say, but because they are aware of too much to speak carelessly. They know one sentence can change the energy of an entire room. They know timing changes meaning. They know a harmless comment can land differently depending on tension, insecurity, emotional history, or who is listening. So while others may talk just to keep the interaction alive, the person who observes more than they speak often waits until what they say actually feels aligned with what is happening. They do not enjoy contributing just to contribute. They do not trust words that arrive before understanding. And in fast-moving social spaces, this can make them seem slow, distant, hard to read, or even slightly out of sync. But the truth is usually the opposite. Internally, they are often reading far more than everyone around them. Their silence is not always hesitation. Sometimes it is precision. Sometimes it is restraint. Sometimes it is what happens when a person sees too much to respond automatically. For many people, this pattern did not begin yesterday. It began early. Maybe they grew up in an environment where reading the room mattered more than expressing themselves freely. Maybe unpredictability taught them to observe before they spoke. Maybe they learned, consciously or unconsciously, that safety came from paying attention, not from spontaneity. In that kind of world, observation becomes more than a social habit. It becomes protection. You learn to study tone before trust. You learn to detect mood before entering it. You learn to understand other people's emotional state before revealing your own. Over time, this creates a very specific kind of person, perceptive, careful, accurate, and often emotionally intelligent, but not always comfortable with fast expression. They can understand the room almost instantly, yet still hesitate before placing their own voice into it. They can sense what others feel with unusual clarity, yet struggle to reveal what they themselves feel in real time. And that creates a painful contradiction. They are often the ones who understand people most deeply, while rarely feeling deeply understood themselves. This is also why these people can look completely different in the right environment. In loud groups, they may seem withdrawn. In shallow conversations, they may appear uninterested. In fast social settings, they can look like they are always a little behind the rhythm. But in quieter spaces, something changes. In one-on-one conversations, in slower, honest moments, in emotionally safe interactions, their inner world starts to open. Suddenly they are insightful, warm, precise, and unexpectedly profound. They ask questions that make people feel seen. They notice details no one else catches. They respond with a depth that makes the conversation feel real instead of automatic. And this is the moment many people finally realize what was happening all along. Their silence was never a lack of depth. It was the opposite. It was selectivity. It was care. It was a mind that does not enjoy skating on the surface when it can already feel something deeper underneath. The problem is that modern social life often rewards performance over perception, fluency over accuracy, and volume over insight. But here is the part that changes the meaning of everything. People who observe more than they speak often carry a rare kind of intelligence. They hear what is not being said. They sense pain hidden behind humor, loneliness hidden inside charisma, discomfort hidden inside politeness, and insecurity hiding inside confidence. In the wrong environments, this level of perception can feel exhausting. It can make social life feel dense, loud, and emotionally crowded. But in the right environments, it becomes a gift. It makes them better listeners, better judges of sincerity, better readers of human nature, and often better creators, partners, and thinkers. So if you have always been someone who observes more than you speak, your silence may not be a sign that you are less socially capable. It may be a sign that your mind was never built for careless interaction. Maybe you move more slowly because you are seeing more deeply. Maybe your voice comes later because your perception arrives first. And maybe what made you feel different all this time is also the very thing that allows you to understand people in a way most never will.